What is up, Reds? Welcome to the Sunday Summary. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. We got a few things to get into today. We still got to talk about Liverpool's performances, and we're also going to look into the Jude Bellingham stuff that's been building every week upon week over the last year, basically. And we'll chat about that towards the end. But, Steve, you watched the match yesterday. I got to know your thoughts, man. I'm just not even excited to talk about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's first of all, hello everyone in the chat. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Sunday morning. It's actually not so beautiful here.
Yeah, it's
freezing
rainy.
cold.
It's
And it's
rainy
like
here.
dark. It's like 25 degrees. So that's not good. But I will say this. I woke up this morning. It could be worse. Like we've played 2 matches since the last Sunday summary, and we haven't lost either. So I guess that's a
All
bonus.
right. Are we switching roles now? Steve's the optimist.
I think, like in years past, I said this yesterday. I'm not sure if I said it to you or who I said it to. In years past, I would be discouraged with a draw versus Chelsea. That was at home, right?
Yep.
Yep. But or wait, I said
What are
what
you
did I say?
talking about?
I don't know, man. I
Bro.
wouldn't be discouraged in years past because
Oh, yeah. You said this
that's an
yesterday.
okay result. A draw against Chelsea, 1 point apiece. But at this point, like we need wins so badly. I was discouraged yesterday. We had moments, but something you spoke about quite a bit in your watch along yesterday, very inconsistent. So we just need to be better. And we're going to dive into that today. But we did play 2 matches this week and didn't lose either. So I guess that's a plus.
It is a plus. Another clean sheet, too, for Allison, which are few and far between this season. I guess for me, just watching yesterday, first thing I want to talk about is the starting lineup because I really do like that starting lineup. Would you agree? I liked that Klopp basically played who he thought were playing the best football at the time. I mean, I like that I saw Kate in there. I like that I saw Bajcetic. He put Harvey Elliott on the left wing, which, I mean, I personally always thought Harvey Elliott was going to be a winger. And then he's broke into the team playing in the midfield. And then over the last few games, we've seen him on the wing twice. You know, I kind of like seeing him on the wing. But I think he did that more so we could get more players in the midfield. Or maybe he's just coming to his senses. Maybe Klopp's saying to himself, all right, Harvey, you're not a midfielder. You know, you're
I didn't like him on the left.
well on the left, of course. Yeah, right.
That was tough because he likes to cut back. He's more so like a central or right side player. That's where he's most effective, I think. I think back to the beginning of last season when he played those first few games before he got that bad injury, and he was so good playing on that like right attacking mid area.
Yeah.
And then yesterday he kind of just looked out of place. He looked a little bit like the game was moving too fast for him. And I think it's just because he's not supposed to be there. However, the lineup you mentioned, I did love that lineup. I think what you said about the people that deserved to play, I think that's the case for every player he put out there, aside from probably Mo. But we know Mo's going to start
Of
regardless
course.
because he is capable of anything.
Yeah.
And he poses a threat to like the opposition that they always have to keep an eye on him. So, but I love the lineup. I thought Bajcetic was great.
Oh, he
All things
really was.
considered,
Really was.
I thought he was good.
Which
I think
should
that's.
have Fabinho worried, by the way.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
When he came on, he seemed like energetic and he was like yelling and talking, and it's definitely going to light a fire under his you know what, to say the least.
Jordan Hyman comes in with the comment of the week. Hey Kyle, we are crap, bro. Yeah, Jordan. It's kind of accurate right now, but you know, at the same time, Steve was bringing it up earlier. I mean, and we're pretty much talking about it now. Over the past week, we haven't lost, so
But we're not scoring.
We're not
The
scoring.
Harvey Elliott worldie is our only goal in the last 3 games.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too because Liz said apparently Liz has it here. Gakpo, man, dude's trying to kick extra points when he's shooting shots. I don't think he has maybe one shot on target. It was like his first shot. It's with his left foot. Every shot since then is still going. Sends it to the moon.
Liz likes Gakpo.
I mean,
I'm
he's
not a
fine.
fan.
He's fine.
Not yet.
He's
He
got to
was
earn
thrown,
it.
he needed time to
He's got to
develop,
earn
and
it.
we just didn't have a chance. We don't have a chance to develop him throughout training for a period of months before he gets like a run of games because of the injuries.
Yeah.
He just does not look ready to be out there. And like the shooting over the bar, like it's annoying, but at
It's
least he's
really
like in
annoying.
the position to get shots.
Yeah, I
Like
suppose.
that's the one piece. But just put it on target. Smash it right at the keeper if you have to.
Yeah, make the
Like,
keeper work, right?
yeah, make the
Make the
keeper
keeper
work.
work.
Especially
You
with
know,
Kepa in goal. Like he's capable of blunders.
he's been
Absolute blunders.
he's been phenomenal this season. He's playing like he did the first season at Chelsea right now.
Oh,
He's been really good. Yeah, regardless. Um I agree with Liz. I don't think we should judge him yet. I think he needs more time. He came in, was thrown into a team that's got all these problems. The philosophy that Klopp sold him on, mind you, we're not doing. Right? The high press, the high energy. Maybe he didn't sell him on that, but I'd like to think that he did. We're not doing. So I think he does need a little bit more time. Yesterday, however, I did see moments where we were pressing again, and specifically at midweek when we played Wolves. A lot of pressing going on in that match.
not yesterday though.
At points
There was
yesterday.
probably 5 moments where I was like, "Oh, that looks good." And the first one didn't come until like the 40th minute. Um, First comment of the day here. Yo Cool says FSG out, party is over. Klopp only has a couple years left on his contract. You want to pin this just because I still
Where
don't
is
have
it?
pinning permissions after 1,000 years? That's the first comment.
Oh,
Klopp only has a couple years left on his contract. He needs ready-made players now. He hasn't got time left to build another team from potential type players. I think this sums it up. I agree with this.
you agree with FSG out?
I'm not one of those people that's been FSG out for so long, like because they're American and this, that, and the other thing. But at this point, like it's time for a change. It doesn't matter who it is. It wouldn't matter if it was FSG or somebody else. Like the way things are going right now, it's time for a change. So you have 2 choices. You either purchase players right now and fight for top 4 rather than waiting for players to come back from injury, which is what we need more than anything. We
Right.
need Bobby, Diaz, Jota. Like we
Absolutely.
need those players back. Virgil, whoever else. Either buy players now or you have to go. So somebody else can come in and has time to build a plan and start like creating deals to purchase players in the summer. Because the
Absolutely.
way it's going right now, we're not making top 4. Like we're not going to play in the Champions League next year, and we may not make top 6 because that's what it is, right? 5 and 6 get Europa,
Yeah, and then I guess 7 gets Conference League.
and then you have to play in to Europa.
No, Conference League is its own thing.
Uh,
Yeah, dude.
well, that's how lucky we are that I don't even know about that. I don't even
Yeah.
know how that works because we never have to worry
Talk
about it.
about being privileged as a fan. Absolutely nuts. I was gonna say something and I completely forgot. I'm upset with that. That's the only downside of doing these things early is my brain doesn't work at full capacity yet. Um, completely forgot what I was gonna say, dude, and that pisses me off. Oh, the Boston Red Sox stuff. Did you see John Henry's interview the other day?
I didn't see it, but I saw something about the economy and the fact that they have to raise ticket prices.
Well, there was something about that, but there was also he just made a comment. He said, in the MLB today, and everything he said was true, but it was the reaction and the indication of what he was saying. he said the MLB today, it is expensive to have good players, and the entire crowd booed him. The entire crowd. Um, but I was just thinking to myself, you just signed that dude to an extension, didn't you? You guys
Well,
just is he good?
so for those of you that don't follow the baseball, the Red Sox,
Baseball.
anything like that. So like I'm from the area. I'm like 10 miles from the stadium where the Red Sox play. And if it makes you feel any better, it's the same stuff like finance wise for the Red Sox. They've had like 3 or 4 players in the last 5 years that are due for big contracts because in baseball players make big money.
Big money.
But it's a little bit different. Like Mo Salah's salary is an
Peanuts.
outlier. But
No.
like
Yeah.
what I mean is when a player comes up for due for a big payday, a big long-term contract, the Red Sox usually let them walk. They just signed someone to one of those contracts, which is like out of character for them. So just so people know, he's not splashing the cash over here, in at Liverpool's like expense or at the detriment of Liverpool. It's the same across the board.
The guy you just signed, is he just as good as Mookie Betts or any of these
Are you
players
talking
that
about Devers,
yes.
Rafael Devers?
Is he
Um,
just as good as some of these players you should have signed to extensions?
he's in the conversation. Yeah,
He's pretty good?
he's
Okay.
really good. Yeah, he's really
Alright.
good.
But let me and this is the last thing I'll say on that topic, but what about, like, Dustin Pedroia and all these other players? Like, are those players you guys kept signing extensions to?
Well, it was different then.
That's true.
No one need like there was only a handful of players that got those big $200 million contracts.
But,
Mind you,
what's crazy is the length of time. Why are they is it because there's no cap?
the length of contract,
Yeah, like, there's 10, 11, 12, 13-year contracts.
yeah, that's the difference. Like these players will make 25 to 35 million a year, some even more,
Yeah,
but the contract is like anywhere, like you said, from 9 to 13 years.
it's
The
nuts.
difference is a lot of the money, or sometimes all of it, is guaranteed.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Alright.
So
So,
you can pretty
whereas
much pay players whatever you want and sign them for as long as you want, but they're going to get guaranteed money. So, like apples to apples, they make less than Mo Salah makes
right, but
per match,
longer
stuff
duration of
like that.
contract, right. Uh, excuse me.
The NBA is where it gets insane, and
Yeah,
even like a handful of players in the NFL.
in the NFL, what's crazy about the contracts is that the market cap went up in 1 year, went up like 40,000,000 for the salary cap, excuse me. Um, maybe not 40, maybe 30,000,000 in 1 year. So, but yeah, you're right. It differs across all sports, at least in the United States. Um, but then you get into like baseball, players are less injury prone. It's not a contact sport. And so I guess you could argue that that's why they're longer contracts. I don't know. Or maybe the age thing. But I guess the point I was getting at was that John Henry basically made the comment that these players are expensive, which they are. I mean, if you're going to own a professional team, regardless of what sport you're in, it's going to be expensive. All right. Um, I think where that, and he said it very slow, very methodical. He was trying to say the right thing. And at the end, he still got booed. And he just waited. He just waited until everyone stopped booing. He kept putting the mic back up to his, face, and then he put it down because everyone kept booing. And I just don't think the guy can win, bro. He's in a thankless job, I feel like. Oh, unless you win. He's in a thankless job unless you win. And credit to you guys. I mean, how long has FSG owned Boston? Do they have every World Series with them?
I'm not sure.
And that doesn't matter too much. The point I'm trying to make is that he's won World Series with a franchise that hadn't won for 87 years. They hadn't won a World Series in 87 years. And if he came in and took over and started winning World Series with this team, he essentially did the same exact thing with Liverpool.
He did. I'm looking at it now. 2002. Then they
Okay,
won in 2004. First one in like 100 or something crazy years, 80 years.
unbelievable.
Then they won in '07.
And then like
Then
2018,
13 and 18.
13 and
They have
18.
four.
So 4 World Series under FSG, okay? Boston Red Sox they had great years, but they just couldn't win a pennant, and they definitely couldn't win a World Series. Um, the crazy thing is that is hard to do. He is a great owner. FSG are great owners for doing that. Look at how they approached it. However, there comes a point in time, which is I kind of think this is what Yo Cool is getting at, just to bring everything back. There comes a point in time where you can only take the team as far as you can take them. And you made a good point with, the money in the NBA is kind of crazy. With the state of European football and really football around the world, there's no salary cap. Okay, transfers aren't just signing free agents. You have to buy players. That's completely different from any sport in the world. You can't just buy players. It's the only sport where that happens. So you're dropping hundreds of millions every year. And normally that wouldn't happen. I mean, you're only paying what the salary is, the salary cap. So I
And then you
think
build through the draft.
exactly, you build through the draft, which is kind of like the academy in Europe. Like they build through their academies, which we're doing as well, right? Which is I'm glad why we have Klopp. I'm really glad we have him because he sees that vision as well. But FSG are only so rich, guys. Like, yes, they're billionaires, but they don't even compare to what these bigger clubs have. Right? Even a bigger American owners. Like when you look at like Arsenal, Man United, um who's the Chelsea. I think Chelsea's owner is American, right? The new guy that just got him.
Yeah, I think so.
My point being is that these guys, FSG, their net worth is single digit billions, maybe breaking into the double digits. These other guys are 50 billion, 100 billion, hundreds of billions. It doesn't compare. You can say, "Oh, buy players." They just don't have the money to buy it. Like they work within their budget to do it, and even then, buying Darwin Nunez is a huge expense because it is. That takes a lot of effort though. So I think FSG, it has nothing to do with FSG. It has everything to do with they've just taken the club as far as they possibly could monetarily, and they just need to sell it. They need to give it to in order for Liverpool to compete, it's time for a big owner. Like Buku Bucks owner. And that's where I'm starting to realize what's going on, you know? Back in 2012 when everyone was just kind of like, you know, I mean, you could be good. You could be good with whoever you bought, but now the state of everything is it's so much money, dude. You have to be able to compete with the top teams, and if you don't, you're going to fall by the wayside.
I think two comments as it pertains to that. One is I have some numbers here I'm going to share with you guys in comparison to FSG and John Henry because they're two separate things. And then like other owners. The other thing is I don't think you need new owners to compete. I just think FSG could do more. And that's why people are frustrated. However, FSG are more so like business minded rather than go buy trophies. And when the last 5 or 6 years, let's just say since 2017, so yeah, 5 or 6 years, when we've been maybe the best team in Europe at times, top five always, fighting for trophies, dominating, it gives you it works in your favor because it also gives you somewhat of like a bragging right. Like look at the net spend chart and look how good we are. Meanwhile, PSG, Chelsea, all these
Yep.
other clubs are spending so much money and they're not winning the Champions League or even like making it to the final at times.
And then when you're bad, it works against you.
So
Yes.
now that we look like a pedestrian club, we don't look as good anymore. It's FSG out. But you can't have it both ways.
You
That's
can't.
why I'm like in the middle,
Right.
because I know they could do better and I hope they do or sell the club. But at the end of the day, like when you're on top, it doesn't really matter. We're just not on top at the moment.
Yep.
Now these seasons are short. Like there's a new season coming. They have a chance if they're going to keep the club, because it looks like they are, or just sell like a smaller portion
That,
of it for investment purposes
that's what's
and
seeming
whatnot.
more and more likely. That was another report that was that came out this week, was that it's looking less likely they're going to sell the entire club, and instead they're looking for investment partners, which I honestly think that's a good idea, because FSG see the potential in this sport, because you said they're a business approach. They want that money. They want that cash. This sport is only going to get bigger. It's still in the baby stages of its popularity here in the United States. And the United States market is unbelievable. Like cracking into that market, the Premier League is bigger than the MLS. If you can get a Premier League, or if you can get really just European football in general, if you can have a sport outside of the United States more popular than the domestic sport, that's nuts. Because then you get into a conversation of like the NBA, the MLB, where the money is astronomical, which it already is in European football. But again, I just think people are quick to pull the trigger when it comes to FSG out, and they're short sighted, right? They forget about how good they've managed the club. But again, I think we're all on the same page. I think we're all like, they just need more capital to invest. Because
Well, we're
right
ready
now,
for a change. That's what it is. Like
yeah.
a change, something fresh and new. So here, before we kind of
Oh
stop
yeah,
with
give me those numbers. Give me those numbers.
yep. So John Henry as a person, roughly 2.6 billion is his net worth as a person.
Right.
Now it's Fenway Sports Group, which he's part of. Their net worth is estimated at 4.8 billion. So
It's
that's our
just
baseline.
yeah, that's not
4.8.
yeah, yeah.
Now let me discuss the other owners or single people. So this would be like John Henry at 2.6 compared to these other people.
I can't wait to hear this.
Todd
Oh,
Bowley is 5.3.
who the hell's
He's the
that?
new Chelsea manager,
The
Chelsea
Chelsea
owner.
owner. He's only 5.6?
5.3, roughly
Okay.
5.3 ish. I mean, this is the internet, so who knows?
Surprising.
But then you have Gu Guangcheng from Wolves, 5.2.
Okay.
Zhang Jindong, Inter Milan, 6.2. Stan Kroenke, Arsenal, 6.8. Philip Anschutz, LA Galaxy, 8.1. Roman Abramovich from Chelsea previously, 10.5.
And
Andrea
those assets
Agnelli,
are frozen.
Juventus. Andrea Agnelli, Juventus, 14 billion. RB Leipzig and RB Salzburg, same owner, Dietrich Mateschitz, 15.7 billion. Sheikh Mansour, Man City, 21 billion. And then these next two are groups like Fenway Sports Group, PSG owners, Qatar Investment Authority, 220 billion. And then the Newcastle Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, 320 billion.
This is my point. You go to the next available one for the top team, which was the Chelsea guy, right? It's double the net worth of John Henry. Now, FSG owns it, right? It's not just John
Even
Henry.
Wolves is double.
Even Wolves is double. Okay. How often do Wolves sign players? Every transfer window. Granted, most of them are Portuguese. They sign like the entire Portugal national team. Okay. Doesn't matter. They're signing players every transfer window. Chelsea. Don't even get me started on Chelsea. Okay. AC Milan doing a lot of business recently. Okay. I thought they were in financial trouble, but I guess this guy took
This is
over.
Inter I mentioned.
Oh, Inter. My mistake. I thought you said AC. So Inter Milan. Juventus. Always trying to sign big players. They just signed Vlahovic. They also got in trouble recently. They got a 15-point deduction. Did you see that?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of
It's
crazy.
they're appealing it.
Yeah, but regardless, it's kind of crazy. Um, and then the other teams you mentioned, Man City, 21 billion. Okay. Compared to Chelsea this year, dude, Man City have done nothing. Like when you, this season's going to go down in history as just Chelsea splashing cash. But I think all that matters, no? Because there's no cap on what you can spend. You can spend whatever the hell you want in this sport. So the more money your owners have, the more you can spend. And it's like people think that just because you're a billionaire, now I'm just going down this rabbit hole of getting mad at the fans for being mad at FSG. But that's just me. This is where you're going to get the logical arguments, guys. This is the channel. We're not talking about
Well,
it anywhere else, guys.
you gotta think also, like, the pandemic's still a thing. It it closed down, like, ticket sales for an entire year. And these sports, like, owning a club is so heavily involved, like, it's all about cash flow.
Yeah.
Like, what's coming in and what's you know what I mean? Like, this isn't
Yes.
coming
Now,
from John Henry's pocket.
can I stop you though? Now let's look at revenue, right? Not net profit, revenue. So revenue was 700 million roughly. I mean, we were third in the world, right? Of
Something like that.
third in the world. Okay. Man City was first. And then I can't remember, maybe we beat Man United. I can't remember what the second club was. Okay. Now, I don't know how Man City's first. That makes absolutely no sense. But the point being, I want to see net profit. How much of that 700 million did we spend? Because revenue is one thing, right? But if you have all these things going on that cost 700 million, you're not breaking even. Or I mean, you're breaking even.
So, yes, you're right. And the other thing is they have spent.
Yeah. We talked about this
They
last week.
haven't, like, spent less than they normally do. They just haven't bought players that we need.
Yeah.
Like, they bought Nunez, they gave Salah that raise. They
That
bought
raise. Yeah.
who am I missing?
Uh,
Someone Diaz a year ago,
Gakpo, Diaz,
Gakpo, yep,
um, Calvin
Carvalho.
Ramsey,
They've bought
Carvalho.
players,
Yeah.
but none of those players, unfortunately, are gonna change the slump that we're in right now.
No.
The
No.
other thing is cash flow hurt them from a Liverpool perspective, which they had to catch up on now, as well as the Red Sox because of ticket sales and just how the pandemic affected everything. Also, they own the Boston Globe, which is a dying industry.
Well, they should.
Newspapers are a dying industry.
Yeah.
So this isn't to say that I don't agree with people that are saying FSG out. I think it's time for a change. But they're not doing anything different than they have in the past. They just didn't buy midfielders, which is valid to be mad about. And
Oh,
it's valid to
100%.
say it's time for a change. But they have spent money. There's no doubt they've spent money. Big signings.
They have big signings. And then you can look at, we had outgoing transfers during that time. That doesn't matter at all.
Nothing noteworthy, really. Speaking of the Globe, Liz says, nope, I didn't read it.
Oh my gosh, dude. What else we got in here? What other comments do we have? Carl here. What's up? Oh, by the way, guys, thank you everyone for tuning into the show. Slap a like on the video if you're enjoying the discussion. We're going to wrap up this FSG talk here in a minute and kind of transition over to looking at the latest developments in the Jude Bellingham stuff. But I kind of want to chat about this a little bit more just because of our performance on the field. And despite all of this, it still comes down to the performance on the field. You can buy $100 billion worth of players, pounds worth of players, and if the players don't play, you're going to lose matches. But Carl, I couldn't disagree more about FSG. This rubbish with the Super League was the start of the end for me, never mind the transfers. And now that is a good point in the sense that I think it exacerbated anything bad they would have done in the future because it made the fans turn on them, the Super League. Completely understandable. But then you have to look at the logical aspect of it, dude. I don't know. I was mad about the Super League, but at the same time, I understood like why they did it. They're motivated by money, right? They're looking at it from
Well,
a
them
money.
and everybody else.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's not just FSG who did it, you know. But he came out, he made the apology video, regardless of what you think. I mean, that's over. It's done with. It's not happening, you know. But it's like fans hold grudges, and I get it, but I don't know. We talk about this every week. How I feel about it
Every week. But
every
they've
week.
spent a lot for this season. Nunez, Gakpo, Carvalho, Ramsey, Arthur Melo alone. Don't forget about that.
Oh God,
Small,
Arthur,
but he's got wages.
what a waste.
Um,
5 million,
that's just
5
this year
million,
alone.
5 million loan fee, in addition to his wages, with a potential option of what was it, 37 million to buy, which we're definitely not buying him.
No, but I heard he's bouncing back. I heard he's close, and I want to see him play.
He's close, FC.
I heard he's on the brink of a return to training in the near future, and I want to see him play.
I would
Who
love to
knows?
see him.
Maybe there's a player there.
What has he played? 8 minutes since he came over?
I didn't even see that portion, but yes, something stupid like that. But I missed it, so I still haven't seen him play.
Oh my God, dude. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like I just don't get the injuries. I don't understand how we can have so many freaking injuries. And when we have injuries, it's always the good people. It's always the good players.
Because we only have good players, Kyle, for the most part.
Ooh, get them. Get them. You know? But it's not, no, what I mean
There's
is
no
like,
junk. Well, there is.
well, it's like, why isn't,
We don't
why,
care if they get hurt.
knock on wood, but you guys know what I'm going with this, okay? Why is Carvalho not injured ever? You know? It's like, why is Nat Phillips never injured? By the way, Nat Phillips is a legend, right? But
He is.
it's like every player that we just absolutely miss. Jota, Firmino, Diaz, Van Dijk. They're always injured. Or I mean, they're not always injured, but it just always seems like that. But
Jota misses too much time.
yeah, no,
I get
Jota,
it with Bobby. Bobby runs a lot. He plays hard. He played a lot of
Yeah.
matches last year. He's old. Like the older guys, I get it. Jota's
Man.
always hurt. But the Diaz thing, that's like a freak thing. You know? He's not an injury-prone player.
It just didn't look bad at all when it happened. I was like, what happened to this guy? He landed on his leg. There was no twist.
He may have even kept playing.
I think he
like,
did for a little
it
bit,
was
and then he was
weird.
like, I got to come out.
hmm
Yeah.
But anyways, we're moving on here.
We're moving on. Okay. I guess this now comes down to the transfer saga. You know, the transfer sagas of who we've been linked with. Been linked with Bellingham for a long time. Gakpo, we signed him. Still waiting on him to come through and produce. I understand that everyone's concern is with the midfield, as we all agree. Okay. Gomez is always fit. He wasn't for a while. That dude was out. He tore his patellar tendon, and he was out longer than Van Dijk was. But Jude Bellingham is a generational talent. Would you agree?
100%. He just made Team of the Year. FIFA Team of the Year. Do you know how hard that is?
It's so good. It's so
With the
difficult.
exception of the big names that just like get it, like Ronaldo forever, Messi. Jude Bellingham is one of 3 midfielders in the FIFA Team of the Year. It's just insane.
Yes.
I don't even know if it was deserved, but the fact that he's there, he's on another level.
I'm on a new level.
Like, let me ask you this. If FSG signed a deal tomorrow to buy Jude Bellingham, effective for the summer, like, do you think the
Not
narrative
a
would change?
damn person would say anything bad about FSG if that happened. I'm sorry. What was your last question?
Do you think that would change the narrative, basically?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, people just want something to get excited about, and I'm with them. I would love that. We need him.
We
We
need
need him.
him.
We need him to come in and take the number 8 shirt. And Keita, change your number or go. Preferably go.
That's another thing. A lot of reports this past week suggesting that Bobby Firmino, I want Firmino to stay. Give him a 2-year extension. 2-year extension. I think that's good. Maybe 3 if you're ambitious. Regardless, I think Bobby should stay. If for nothing, mentorship, right? And kind of like a Milner role.
No, he's still effective.
No.
Screw all that.
We all know that, but I'm saying if for nothing, that's why you keep him here. I was gonna say something. I was talking about something. It must have been Jude Bellingham. But oh no, Keita. So we saw reports not 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, suggesting that Naby Keita is going to walk. Contract talks have broken down. Naby Keita is going to walk. Now, after a good performance against Wolves, guys, I kid you not, this is how the media works. I kid you not. After one good performance, they said talks are open back up for Keita for a new contract. I kid you not. Keita would sign that new contract and the next day be out for 4 months. We can't keep him solely based on how good he is when he plays. He has had 5 years to stay healthy. He cumulatively has been healthy for maybe 2 years of those. Maybe. You can't give him an extension. I don't care. He could play the rest of his career and not get injured. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. Okay?
No, because he's not cheap either. He has wages. He has decent wages.
Right. Well, what's he at? 130, something like that.
It's sizable. It's enough.
Yeah, it's about
And
one.
you got to imagine the new contract would be at least the same, if not more. LFC Aaron says we need way more than one midfielder. Aaron, last week I said we need 5. That's what I said on the stream. We need 5.
Yeah. God. Yeah.
But Bellingham's a start. Just get him.
Bellingham's a start. Lock that dude down. Give him the number 8. Let him become the next Gerrard. Okay?
Sign him to a 7-year deal. Give him
don't
200K and spend 130 million for him.
give him a goalkeeper's contract, dude.
Yep. Pay him what he wants.
Tony
Pay him
says
the same as Virgil, Thiago, those guys. Give him 200K.
Yeah.
Get rid of Keita. That's a difference of 70,000 a week. See ya.
Yeah. See you later. Tony says I don't want Keita to get a new contract. Tony, neither do I. Neither do I. And Oyvind says that he's not even that good when he plays. And we'll just agree to disagree because I think Keita is a game-changing player. And I said this before, not in the sense that he's world class, but in the sense when he's on the pitch, he changes how the flow of the game is working. And it's apparent. It's apparent. His tackling is phenomenal. His ball retention is great. He doesn't make bad passes almost ever. He's a good midfield player. Okay.
He's solid. He's good as a sub, I think. Because he's not a 95-minute player.
I could see that. I could agree with that.
He also, you never leave a match and say Keita's the man of the match. Ever.
How are you gonna pull out one match, bro?
What do you mean?
Oyvind says Keita did change the game against Madrid. You got that right. Look,
Yeah.
that's funny.
But that's what I think about too. When I think of Keita,
you think about that game?
I think about that match. That just sums up his career.
Yeah,
you get a chance and you blow it.
He was
terrible.
terrible.
You're the worst player on the pitch by far. They bring in James Milner for you.
Yo, they subbed him at halftime. He was so bad.
But he's never man of the match. Never.
No.
He's not worth anything. But if you bring him on the 60th minute when us in a slump like we're in now, he makes a difference because he pushes the ball forward. He's a forward-thinking midfielder. He likes to attack and do things that are, somewhat creative.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
There's a use for him today, but in the future, absolutely not.
So we think about it this way, right? Keita walks, Ox walks, and a lot of people are calling for Jones to get loaned out, which I could see. But let's just pretend that Jones doesn't get loaned out. You still have 2 out. Say Bellingham comes in. You still need 2 more. You have to get an extra midfield player. You have to. So you got to bring in 3 if those 2 walk. All right, unless you're thinking that Carvalho and Bacchetic, let's say Bacchetic fills that role of an extra midfielder, which I definitely think he could, right? So then you got 3 young guys in the midfield. James Milner might stay. You still got Hendo. You still have Thiago for another year.
You still have Fabinho.
Still have Fabinho.
And who knows, maybe they like Arthur. And when he comes back and plays this season, maybe he's good.
I just think that possibility is very slim.
It is. But here, it's just to say this: they need at least 3, no matter what.
Yeah, agreed. And with that in mind, we do have to talk about this. Dermot says it down here. If we don't make Champions League, how will that affect Bellingham joining? I will have so much respect for him if he still joins us if we're not in European football or Champions League, let's say.
I think he'll still join because this is a move for his life, his career, not 1 year. You know?
Yeah, I see that, but honestly, do you think, because what is he even 20 yet? Did he even turn 20?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Let's just say he's 19. I agree with you. I would still go to the club that you wanted to go to. But do you think that would have an impact on the decision?
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't.
Well, I like your positivity.
I don't.
Because a lot of people think that there's no way he's coming. No way he's coming if we don't make Champions League.
Yeah, Mark Styles, I feel Bellingham will sign regardless of us getting Champions League. I agree. It's because it's just 1 year. Like, this won't happen again next year.
I hope so. I hope not. Definitely hope not. Yeah, he's still 19. Okay, gotcha. So Bellingham comes in. A lot of people are saying Nunez. I don't know. I don't know, dude. What are your thoughts on all this, man?
On Bellingham?
On just like the midfield situation. Like, part of me just really hopes we spend a lot of money this summer. Like, Bellingham comes in, and then you sign a few other players. But
Well, I want somebody right now. I'm just thinking about right now. The future is great to think about because we're not going to win the league, but there's still a chance for top 4. It gets slimmer by the day, but the season's literally, like, officially half over now. We're halfway through. I think we've played 19 matches, right?
yeah, 19.
If not 20. We're
Yeah.
at 50% mark. Plenty
Right.
of time. You can go on a string of games. You still get to play every team again.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you beat them, it's a 6-point swing, those teams above you.
Right. Exactly. No,
So,
and I agree. I mean, there's
time. They need to buy somebody right now. That's what I'm trying to say.
they can absolutely mathematically still win the league. If you really want to think about it, they can still win the league. Right? Is it likely to happen? No. You can definitely still finish top 4. We're closer to the relegation zone, I think, than the top of the table, though. Which also kind of concerning. But,
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But signing someone right now, you said you had a feeling that we would sign Ruben Neves.
Mm-hmm.
What gives you that?
I just think, I said it last week, I think he's played in the Premier League. He's proven. I don't think he's great, and I also wouldn't love the signing. I could just see it happening. We've done a lot of business with Wolves.
That's
and
true.
we get linked with everybody, so who knows what's legit, but I just think this one has a little bit of legs behind it.
We do get
And it
linked
could
with
happen.
everybody. We do. We get linked with everybody under the sun. I just always think, you know what I find myself thinking about a lot recently? What would life be like if we signed Chouameni? That quality of player in the midfield. If Klopp got Chouameni, right, instead of having to loan Arthur, right? What this season would have looked like.
It'd be a little bit different, but not much, I don't think.
You don't think so?
Because we still aren't scoring goals, and we still have all the injuries up top, and one midfielder is not gonna change things.
Yeah, and Liz says Ward wanted Nunez last summer. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. We were so heavily linked with him, and then Wolves sign him. And now we're going after him again. What is the point? Like, why didn't you just get him then? These are the things that bother me. I get waiting for the right person, but you had your chance. Why wouldn't you just go get him? Yo Cool says Klopp needs about 200 mil investment in the midfield. That's about accurate considering if Bellingham 100, that gives you 80 or 100 mil left to buy the other players that you were talking about to fill that void. What are the odds, Steve, though, that we only buy Bellingham and then Klopp trusts the likes of Bajcetic, Carvalho, and Elliott to fill the voids left by Keita and Ox?
I think that's an option.
I
I don't
do.
love it, but I think that could happen.
I honestly think that's his plan, bro.
I think they'll get at least one more, though. I think they'll buy one now. I do. I think they'll buy one now, and then I think they'll get Bellingham.
Well, let me just look up, and we'll wrap up the show with this. But I want to look up the latest Liverpool transfer links. Did you know they're there?
They're always there.
Oh man, where's the news tab? There you go. All right, one day ago, Mason Mount. That's the other one. Okay, Mason Mount. Arthur reportedly set to stay at Liverpool despite departure rumors. Let me share this with everybody so everyone can look at what I'm looking at. So, this is the big one. Liverpool Echo. Mason Mount. If you guys don't know, Mason Mount and Chelsea are still trying to find an agreement on a contract. Over the past year, Mason Mount has been linked with Liverpool. And I feel like Liverpool alone, for the most part. Seems like we're monitoring that situation pretty heavily. But the thing is, Steve, you said it the other day, we don't need another attacking mid player.
Yeah. We don't. Because he's not cheap. He's going to have the English tax. Like, why would we go drop? What's he going to cost?
No.
80 million?
No. He's out of contract.
Right. No.
Imagine if we got
we
Mason
don't
Mount
need him.
on a free. Imagine.
It's
That would
never
be.
gonna happen.
Oh, just imagine though.
Unless he legit does not want to be there, he'll sign another deal and still move.
Dude, well, what makes me think that he doesn't want to be there is he hasn't already signed a new extension. Most players, if they want to stay somewhere, they don't wait until. Let's click on this. Hold on. Because I'm pretty sure he's out of contract in the summer. All right, this is from the Liverpool Echo, Steven Killen. All right. Being linked with Chelsea's Mason Mount. That's it? That's all we got? What kind of article is that? I must be missing something here. Wow. I must have missed something, dude. Meanwhile, Liverpool are once again linked with a move for Chelsea's Mason Mount.
This doesn't even matter because it's not going to happen until the summer anyways.
This is terrible. What the hell? What is going on? Okay, regardless. So that's Mason Mount for you guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. And of course, my computer wants to move super slow. Jesus. And then the Arthur one. Okay. Reportedly set to stay at Liverpool despite departure rumors. So you got that one. Okay. Fabrizio Romano, though, Steve, provided some comments on that one. On the Mason Mount rumors at the moment, I'm told Liverpool's top priority remains Jude Bellingham and Mateus Nunes. So there you go. There's your answer, guys. Mateus Nunes and Jude Bellingham. Mason Mount, it's just kind of another link. If you could sign Mason Mount on a free, would you get him?
Why not?
Despite the fact we don't need an attacking midfielder?
Well, we don't have one. We don't have a real solid cam.
We have
So
two.
we could use him.
Yeah. I feel
But
like
we don't get any goals
Carvalho.
from the midfield. We get none.
Yeah, I know we don't, but we still have that type of player.
You have Carvalho. You have Elliott, that sort of type of player. You could even argue Bobby when he's fit is somewhat of a cam, but we don't have a true proven cam. Mason Mount's proven. There's no doubt about that.
Kid's pretty good.
If you can get him on a free, why not? But again, Nunez and whoever and Bellingham are the priority. That's what Romano says. That's what I'm going with. Hopefully they get Nunez right now, or anyone right now.
Agreed.
And then Arthur comes back fit. We get some of these other players back fit. We make a push for top 4. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
I certainly hope so, bro. At the end of the season, I hope that we see Liverpool in that top 4 race, but that's what we got to look forward to, guys. Hopefully Bellingham comes in this summer and Liverpool just start playing like we know they can play and they finish top 4. But that's all we got for you this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Remember to like the stream and subscribe if you're new, because you know this is the only place you're going to get honest conversation, logical discussion, and we're going to look at all angles of the argument. Appreciate all our channel members as well being here every week. You guys are relentless. We love you very much. Steve, any closing thoughts?
No, I think this was good. We didn't lose this week, which is a step in the right direction. So
Yeah, that is so good. Good job, guys.
To, chatting with you next week, man.
All right, man. Take care of yourself, guys. Until next time, take care.